Good evening to everyone. I won't take too much of time, but God gave you a gift of 86,400 seconds today, all of us, including me. Have you used one to say thank you? So I won't take just one, I'll take several seconds and finish this fast. I don't want to come in between you and the dinner that you're all waiting for. But it has been a wonderful evening. But one thing that comes to my mind is what Albert Einstein said about curiosity, because this whole thing is about raising the curiosity levels of all of us. The quote, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little bit of mystery each day. That's what we have done. And every year, I'm very proud that Infosys Prize, though it is called the 2016 prize, but we do it in the beginning of the year to bring a fresh thought and curiosity to all of you with the winners and such wisdom that the chief guest and others have been able to bring to all of you. Now, when I was going through listening to the speech of the chief guest, there are several pearls of wisdom that I could collect. Just I'll take few minutes for us to recollect that. As he was saying, prizes are not the goals of scientists, but it's just a milestone. See the motivation they have. But then why do we need just the prizes? It says it sets the role models in the society. That is the purpose of the Infosys Science Prize also. But as Professor Venki Raman has said, science is a term for knowledge which has three parts. Very clearly he enunciated: basics research, applied research, and translational research. But the key is the technology connects, but it is a very complex structure that you have which connects all of these things. And it takes sometimes centuries to find the actual applications of these. He gave the example of how Newton's laws were found and how satellites came 300 years later. But he also, went into the concept of how some of the top companies today that you see in the last 50 years are really have been born out of the new technologies that have evolved, but for which the research was done in the past century. And natural resources are not important, but technology and knowledge and innovations are the key to the success of many new countries, including India. He gave the example of how Swang in UK invented the electricity bulb, but how Edison marketed it to make sure that it reached the market. So there are several lessons to us, but few other pearls of his wisdom are: economic growth really precedes the scientific growth for a country to progress in science, because the money required for science has to come from the economic growth. And high quality science is required for the science to succeed and even for the economy to succeed in the long run. He gave examples of several countries like America and now China, how it is able to progress, including Japan that has achieved it. So, but for science to progress in a country like India, considering what has happened from other countries, good R&D is very, very important. So that is where I think there is a great lesson for all of us. And here is where I believe that Infosys Science Prize sets up some of those aspirations with building the scientists, which are the building blocks for these R&D organizations. Of course, the public-private sector participation is very important. When the public invests certain amount, he says there has to be a disproportionate investment also by the private sector for it to succeed. But investment alone is not enough. Governance is equally important. Unless that is done properly, these things will not succeed in the long run. But finally, when he was concluding, he said, science is not about authority, which is what in India we look at, for thanks to the British who ruled us, authority is what we use, but science requires evidence for it to succeed, and that is very important for us to remember. So for me, from a lot of these pearls of wisdom that I look at, when I was reading a lot of things about him, one thing that struck me very well is it takes a certain amount of courage to tackle hard problems in science, is what he had said. And here is the man who has succeeded in many ways, definitely bringing laurels to countries like India and to the science community. So I would like to begin by thanking Sir and Dr. Venkatraman Venki Ramakrishnan for being here today, and despite his very busy schedule, giving his pearls of wisdom to all of us. Can you all give a big hand? We are also grateful to our distinguished jury chairs. Besides their own expertise, they bring on board other experts in various fields that our prizes span. Physical sciences, for instance, has chemists and earth scientists, in addition to the various interesting and complex fields of physics. Life sciences looks at a range of areas from medicine and public health to plant biology. And humanities evaluates works of legal scholars and literary critics, in addition to philosophy and psychology and other things. So the chairs of the jury bear a huge responsibility to take into consideration and evaluate all these different disciplines of science. I would like to thank the panels that work with the chairs over semesters of teaching and summer holidays too, in order to put their heads together, debate, discuss, and even argue to arrive at best of the best that they have brought to all of you. Can we all give a big hand to them, please? Now, let me come to the stars of the show that we are all here for. You have all seen the stars of the show, the winners of the Infosys Prize, without whom this event would not have happened. So I'd like to thank Kaivan Munshi, Kumaran, Sunil Amrit, Akshay Venkatesh, Gagan Deep Kang or Cherry Kang, and Dr. Anil Bharadwaj. Each one of them, I want to thank them for their excellent work, of course, but when they accept the honor of this prize, they also take the mantle of serving as role models for more young people in India who would look up to and emulate them in their future endeavors. They are already mentors and guides to many, and now will inspire so many more. Their work evokes wonder and excitement in their respective fields and opens up a new vista of possibilities for the world at large. I would like to thank the Government of India for granting us tax-free status on the prize money for winners in India. The 65 lakhs they have won in India is tax-free. Monetary reward may not be the greatest inspiration factor, as Dr. Venki Raman has already said, but for researchers and scientists, that is not what they look for. But I do believe that it will be a strong enabler in whatever use our laureates choose to put it into. Thank you to our outgoing president of the trust, my colleague Shibulal, for guiding the activities of the Infosys Science Foundation this past 2 years, and for his excellent new ideas. And I also want to thank my fellow trustees on the Infosys Science Foundation for giving excellent support in making this event happen. A big thank to all of you who have taken your personal time to be here today as friends, family, colleagues, all the people who work behind the scenes to make this happen, not in the least our media friends, to celebrate the achievements of our laureates. Can we all give a big hand to all of you, please? Now, finally, I would like to thank the small team running the Infosys Science Foundation, Bhavna Mehra, Gurupreet Walia, Nidhi Verma, and of course the excellent compeer Deepak Padaki. making this event a great success. Now, I would like to conclude by quoting what Mother Teresa said: "We cannot do great things on earth, but small things with great love." Thank you all.